everyone, welcome to my channel, Bianca Skogan Beauty. I am so glad to have you guys here today. I have been equally looking forward to and dreading this video. It is my brown blush video. Let me explain. One of my first videos on my channel, I decided to do like a purple blush video where I kind of was just exploring purple blush. Like I was like, hey, this is an interesting color. How will it look on like skin, on my skin particularly, because I was putting it on my skin, but like, does it look purple? Does it change to pink? What happens when you put like a lot of it on? What happens when you just kind of put it on a little bit? What happens with purple blush? And like, people are selling purple blush. What's the deal with this? And that video, at first it didn't do very well, but then it picked up and is one of my best videos on my entire channel. So they say if something does well, do it again, right? So I also then did a red blush video, and I did like that bubblegum pink cool tone blush video, and I did an orange blush video. And so I was kind of racking my brain. What is another cool, awesome tone blush that I could do? And I was like that is not just like a normal, like I can't just do pink blush or like mauve blush. You know what I mean? Like, those are just normal everyday blushes. I need to do an interesting shade. And so brown, it came to me. I was like, brown blush. That it's something that baffles my mind, because to me, like, this was my very first brown blush. This is from Kaleidos, this right here. And I have been using it as a bronzer because for me, this shade works as a bronzer. So I've been using it as such, but it's actually a blush. Brands come out with these brown blushes, but they're blushes. They're not bronzers. These, every single one that I have here are blushes. I always go a little overboard in these because I purchase them over time. Some of them I already have in my collection. Some of them I get on sale. Like, I've been preparing for this video for like a year. And so I've been getting blushes here and there over the last year. I have 15 brown blushes here, which kind of drives me crazy that I have an unequal, like I have an odd amount because I have two cheeks. But anyways, that is aside from the point. And I want to see how they look because I'm going to wear them as blushes and not as bronzer. And we're going to see how on my light skin tone. In the summer, it gets kind of a little bit more light medium because I'll be outside more and I do fake tanning. I am more light skin tone right now. And I have more of a cool undertone. Any hoozle, let's see how a brown blush will work on my skin. Right now, I did a video before this and this is just like a pinky kind of corally blush. So we're gonna take that off, put all of these blushes on my face, and we're gonna start with a more subtle amount, and then we're gonna build it up and go to like a normal amount that I would wear. Okay, wait, do I wear a normal amount? No, but the amount I would wear. And then I will build it even more than that to a like, so that it is, I'm doing this for present demonstration purposes, so we'll build it up even more. So we're going to kind of try to go in stages and try to experiment here. I'm a scientist. I work in genetics and I like to experiment, and I also love color and makeup, and this is going to be fun. So if this sounds like fun to you, stick around, consider subscribing, pray for my cheeks because they're going to hurt after washing them like 8 times. With my first video, I did just clean cheeks, no foundation on, but I felt like it didn't work very well because the more I washed my cheeks, the redder they got. So we're going to continue with what I did in the next videos, where I'm just going to continue washing it off and putting foundation on, washing it off, putting foundation on. So, and that's how I wear blush anyways. I put foundation on and then I put my blush over it. I've put these all in pairs, and I've tried to put pairs that look like similar to each other. I don't know if that's it's not necessary. It just makes sense in my head. So the first one is from Phytosurgence. This is Exothermic. And this is one that I bought because I wanted to try out Phytosurgence. And I think there were a lot of either good reviews on this one, or I was looking and a lot of people recommended Exothermic. And then I got it and I was like, oh, that's brown. That'll work for my brown blush video. So I wasn't particularly buying this brown blush for this brown blush video. Does that make sense? Same with this one. This one is from Half Magic Beauty. This is Magic Brownie. And Lauren May Beauty was talking about how much she loved this color blush. I was doing a whole face of Half Magic Beauty, and I had some like Ulta points. These two I didn't buy for this video. I bought for other purposes, and then they were able to be used for this video. And I think they kind of work together. They have more of that chocolatey richness to them, whereas I feel like some of the other ones are a little bit not as rich, warmer even, but so these two are both very rich, but they're still brown. I wanted another thing to point out, that I'm going to put these on mostly with my fingers because I can keep washing my fingers, whereas most of the time I put on my blushes with the bottom of my beauty blender sponge thing, and I don't want to have to wash this in between each application, but I can wash my fingers in between each application very easily. So is the application going to be perfect? No, because I'm using my fingers. Although I think a lot of people use their fingers, but I don't, so I'm not perfect at it is what I'm getting at. So this is not going to be a perfect application, but I'm trying here. Oh, Bianca, I wasn't supposed to go subtle. Okay, so I am supposed to go subtle, but this is pretty pigmented. So I'm trying, I did this finger to put it on, and now I'm trying to spread it out with the other finger. What I'm trying to get at is this is not gonna be a perfect application because I'm using my fingers that I don't normally use, but I can wash my fingers easily. And I'm trying to not make this video take a million years, because guess what time it is? 11:42 at night. I'm a night owl, but I have to work tomorrow, so I don't want to make this take until like 3 in the morning. So, okay, there. That is a very pretty, kind of subtle, maybe a little more than subtle because it's pigmented. But I like it because I feel like maybe it's just with my skin, but I feel like my skin changes colors of things. Like with the purple blush, it made it change kind of pink. And I feel like it's turning a little bit rosy. Like, and maybe that's because it's such a rich color and it kind of goes rose, but I feel like this is a really pretty blush shade. Like I'm not like, oh, that's a bronzer. Like it has a little bit of almost like redness to it. Okay, so I'm gonna take what's on my finger already and we're gonna build it up a little bit more because I can. And I really do like it. And I think that this brown blush will be really pretty in my arsenal for like neutral looks, because right now I have kind of more of a neutral eye look. So a neutral blush will be nice. Also, when I have a really bright eye look, it'll be nice to have more of a neutral blush as well, so that I'm not having too many colors clashing. Okay, so that is it more built up a little bit more, and I still think it looks really nice. Okay, now here is where we're gonna put more on, and it's probably not gonna look as nice anymore. Or maybe it still will. But I always have to push it to the limit. We always have to go. I want to show you guys what this can do. At the end of these videos, I'm always like, how do you put on blush? How does blush happen? Okay. And then I spread it and it goes so much. Okay. It goes to places like over here. I don't wear blush there. What? Okay. So right now it's looking like a sunburn, but I feel like the sunburn look can be in. I would not wear it like this. I would definitely wear it more in the first or the second way I had it. This is a little much, but it is kind of like now that I got it away from that area, it's just kind of cute sunburny. Okay, so that was Magic Brownie by Half Magic Beauty. Let's go to Exothermic by Phytosurgence. Okay, we're gonna go with this finger. That is also very pigmented. So how do we just go with a little bit? One dot. Here we go. Okay. Pew. There we go. Okay, so this one seemed like it was really pigmented, but it blends really nicely. It blends into the skin. Nice. Okay, so that is a very, I'm going to try not to show you that side because that side is going to skew this side. But that is a very subtle, like, I wouldn't even say I have blush on. Obviously, I do on that side. Okay, let's go some more. Are you someone who wears your blush up high like this? Or do you wear it on the apples of your cheeks? Because I used to wear it on the apples of my cheeks. And then I started wearing it up high like this, and I thought it looked better. Okay, that is a little bit more pigment. and it just looks pretty. I never would have thought about brown blush. I would have only thought this is a bronzer. Okay, lastly, I'm really going pigmented here, okay? So, and I feel like this is such a blendable blush that has been hard to go pigmented. Okay, this one doesn't have as much of the red tone to it. It doesn't look as sunburned as this one. This one turned sunburned. This one almost looked like I accidentally face planted in a dirt pile. But, because I went too hard, obviously. I feel like that might happen with the extra adding up. It might look like I face planted, which could happen. I'm quite a klutz. Okay. I liked that one on the second application. The first application was too light. The third application looks like I fell in dirt. The second one was perfect. And I thought it looked really nice. It looked really pretty. And I think all of these would look even better with my preferred bottom of the beauty blender. Okay, let's move. I'm going to clean my cheeks and put more on. Clean cheeks again. All right, our next two. We have Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin in Spiced Latte. And we have from Fenty Beauty. This is Rose Latte. I do believe these were purchased for this video. I got them for a good sale though. All right, so let's start with Spiced Latte. Wait, nope, Rose Latte. Are they both latte? They're both latte. Rose Latte and Spiced Latte. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start with Fenty. And we're gonna try to be subtle at first. I have to remind myself of that. Let's do one more dot. Because I want you to still see it. Subtle, but with it showing up. Because some of these blend in really nice. And the reason I'm showing you so many of these is because there's a lot of different price ranges here and different like formulas. Like some of these are vegan and cruelty free and some of them are not, and some of them are at Ulta and some of them are at Sephora and some of them are indie and some of them are higher price, some of them are lower price. So, and then some of them you might be like, that looked terrible, I don't want to get that one, but that one looked good on you, I might want to get that one, or I don't want to buy any of them, I'm just intrigued to see what they look like on you and see how dumb you look. I don't know. So it's part of the reason why I have so many of them, to give you kind of a big range of what's going on. And because I am I already did the subtle one, now we're doing more. I am a scientist, and with with the experimental method, scientific method, you can't just use like one or two in a study group. You need more. And so I guess I have a kind of a bigger study group, much to my wallet's disdain, though I have been gathering these for a while and getting them on sale and whatnot. So, wow, that looks pretty. Why have I been using these as bronzers? Like, it just makes it look like I'm glowing. Like, it's like, hey, my skin is glowing. Wow, that is stunning. Stunning. Okay, now, the third ramp up is usually when it starts looking not so stunning. One of them, I have a feeling, just because I'm saying this right now, one of them, because it has to, one of them has to look good at the third round, right? No. Maybe. I'm trying not to go too far down. I always do that. When I get the third round on, I'm trying to spread it out because there's so much. And so I'm trying not to go into this area where blush does not go, Bianca. Well, that looks stunning. It's like a little bit orangey, warm toned. And so it reminds me of my orange blush video, but it looks better. The orange blush, some of them look good, but some of them were a little bit stark and didn't, because I have a cool undertone, so they kind of were a little bit stark for me for orange. And so I feel like this is like that orange, but it's better. It's nicer. So I feel like with this one, it had a little bit of like red tone to it, whereas this one has a little bit of that, and they're different, you can see in the pan. This one, it does have a little bit more red to it. So this one has more red, and when I wore it, it did look a bit more red tone, more burgundy, whereas this one has a little bit more orange leaning. And so it look, even with that third application, it looks stunning. So now we have Danessa Myricks in Spiced Latte. the subtle approach. Do, 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 do. Okay, cool. Nice. This one is very pigmented. So I feel like it got like subtle really quickly. Like I got there, bam, done. Pretty. Okay, second one. Also, I feel like this brown blush is making my green eyes pop. Is that just me? Maybe. Okay, so that is the second layer. Okay, so do you see how this was my third layer of the Fenty, and this is the second layer of the Danessa Myricks. The Danessa Myricks is pigmented. Let's do this. Let's do this. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, they both look the same. When you have this much on, it's just a lot at this point. It's a lot. I wouldn't wear this much on either side. I would have worn the two layer, the two application. It shows that it can be built up if you have a deeper skin tone than me. And I know for a fact, Fenty and Danessa Myricks are Black-owned beauty brands. They are made for, I believe, like all skin tones. You can pull it off. So, yay, perfect. Okay, we are going to wash off and get more on. Okay, clean cheeks again, but you are kind of getting to see that red is poking through a little bit because I'm getting the makeup off with a makeup wipe just so that I don't have to like wash my whole face. So I'm kind of scrubbing it, which I don't normally do because these are harsh on your skin. So I don't normally use makeup wipes. I use makeup wipes usually to get off swatches on my hands. So it's a little bit red. Our next two are drugstore brands. So these ones are cheaper. Well, don't wave that one around. Okay, let's talk about this one. Oh, no, are you magnetic? No, that one's not magnetic. Okay, this one is from Burt's Bees Blush. I didn't even know Burt's Bees had a brand, but they do, and they have a blush, and this is in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. And then we also have from ColourPop, this is the pressed powder blush in Bankroll. This one was $5. And I might have even had like a 20% off coupon from ColourPop, even more than that. I was intrigued. I was like, that is a bronzer. That's a bronzer. Nay, nay. This is a blush. Okay. I'm contemplating, see there's some pink on here, and I'm contemplating not using my fingers for the powders and using this to, you know what I mean? Will that work? Because the pink is still on there. I'm going to try it. What if okay, this is clean. What if I go like that? Okay, whatever. We're just using my fingers again. Okay, we're going to try it. Yeah. The powder with my fingers doesn't look very good. All the rest are powders. No, just kidding. I have tubies that are not powdered, but those are at the end because there's 3 of them and it's an odd number, and I guess I'm leaving that till the end. Okay, so this one, it was called Bankroll. Okay, there's our subtle amount. Cool. Using the brush. Wow, I love using a brush more than my finger. Okay, there. No, not yet. There is my application that I would normally do. Uh-oh, something is in my eye. Time out. Something's in my eye. This is extremely painful. Well, that was the weirdest thing that's ever happened. I felt like my eye was burning off. So I probably should have just washed my whole face. But this eye looks terrible now. Great. Because I was like crying and crying and crying, trying to get, there was like, I think it was just a little black dot. So let's just move on and ignore that this eye looks terrible because again, it's midnight and I don't feel like fixing it because we're talking about blush. That was terrible. That's never happened. I've had this channel for 4 years and I've never all of a sudden had like a burning like eyeball experience. So that was fun. I'm okay now though. So I did my second application of this Bankroll and I think this looks really nice. Okay, it was traumatic. So let's go with our really, I wonder if like maybe, no, because it was like a black dot. I'm not even wearing black mascara. This is like a burgundy mascara. I don't know. Cool. Let's go hardcore. I feel like it's a lot easier to really overdo a cream blush, whereas a powder blush, especially because this one isn't really that deep. So I feel like this one I won't overdo it. I don't even really think that looks that good. Almost mattifies my cheek. Like I liked the creams, but it's like just barely darker than my skin. And so I don't really like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that look okay? It looked okay on the second application. But like the third application, I'm like, I don't even like it at all. Let's go with this Burt's Bees one, Toasted Cinnamon. I used my cleaning outing thing, and we're gonna go into the brush again. Okay, I was supposed to go subtle, wasn't I? Bianca? Okay, we're using my fingers to try to blend it because there's still some pigment in here. And I don't want to get rid of the pigment by putting it in that scrubby thing because I'm gonna put more pigment on here. Okay, that's subtle-ish, okay? I did go a little hard. This one just has more, this one has more pigment than the ColourPop one. The ColourPop one didn't have as much pigment. Okay, so here's subtle-ish. So let's go more. Oh, I wish it had a cinnamon smell to it, right? It's called Toasted Cinnamon. It should have a cinnamon smell. Okay, you might be like, Bianca, those look exactly the same. There's subtle differences. This one just looks blah. And this one actually has like, there's a difference between this and my skin tone. And so I can tell that it's there. Whereas this one just kind of seems like, did you wear your bronzer too high? I mean, this one kind of does too, but I like it better. Okay, so I wonder if with all of the majority of these are powder blushes. And I'm finding that so far, am not as big a fan of powder blush. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go hard now. And we're gonna really add this on here. I think I just don't like this color. It turns kind of yellowy, like a yellowy orange. And I feel like it makes me look sallow. Anyone? Thoughts? I don't really like it. It probably works on other people, but I don't feel like it works on me. Like there were on all of the other blush videos, most of the colors, like you can make pretty much any color work for you if you have a will, there's a way. But I'm gonna say that because these colors are very, I purposely chose these colors together because they were similar. And I'm gonna say, I don't like these. I don't like how it looks on my face. Okay, so let's go to the next ones. I have good news. The next two blushes are deeper. So this is from Singe Beauty. This is in the shade Risky Raisin. So it's called Risky Raisin, and I actually didn't put this in my brown blush video originally because I was like, Risky Raisin, that's plum. Kind of, not really. I feel like it's kind of brown. So let me get you some other ones, okay? And this one's Dior in Bronze Glow. Here is the ColourPop one that we just had that I didn't like, okay? So these are deeper, and I think I'm gonna like them more because I didn't like this one. So let's talk about the Half Magic one that I really liked as well. Man, it's such a hard packaging to open. And I just stuck my finger in it. I feel like, see how it is kind of brown? Like the Half Magic one that was Magic Brownie. So I feel like Risky Raisin can be this, it's brown, right? Right? Okay, so we're gonna hope that it's not just every powder blush I don't like, because a lot of these are powder blushes, that it was just that color powder blush. We are going to try them and hopefully, I think I know what it was that went in my eye. I think it was a piece of this because it was black, and this is very sharp. I mean, not on my hand, but in my eyeball. I know what it was in my eye. That, a little tiny piece of that would have, that's it, that was it. That definitely would have hurt my eye. Risky Raisin. Subtle, Bianca, subtle. the powders are hard to get them to mix around in a subtle, they kind of stay where I put them. There is Risky Raisin subtly. It kind of just stayed in one spot. Okay, now let's go a little bit more, this is more how I would wear it. And I'm assuming, and because it is kind of happening, this one's gonna turn a little bit more red because that Half Magic one turned more red, and this kind of has a similar tone to it, which with blush, a lot of the time I like to put on the cream blush first, and then I set it with a powder blush. So having a powder blush the same color is nice because I can have that, I can set it with the same color. It's nice. Okay, nice. That looks really pretty. It's brown, but it's a little bit red toned. It looks a little bit like a sunburn, which I think is nice. Like, I think it's nice when a blush does something that is your face naturally does. Blush, your face naturally blushes, or it naturally gets sunburn. Now we're gonna pile this thing on. I'm gonna really go to town here. I think we can because this is a pretty pigmented blush. Yes, and it looks like a sunburn. But I think it looks good. Bam. Okay, I wouldn't wear it like this though, because it is, I like almost can feel my cheeks being hot because they're hot because I've been rubbing them, but like, I'm like, oh, it looks painful like a sunburn. It's not a sunburn. Okay, cool. What was the next one? Oh, the Dior blush. Okay, let's go for this one. Okay. And this one, I feel like the Dior ones are already kind of a little bit not as pigmented, even though this one is, but I kind of went in too hard when I keep forgetting, Bianca. Okay, my natural instinct is to put it on like I put blush on, and so my natural instinct is to just go too much right from the start. So I'm sorry that I kind of did, but look how nice that looks. Wow, I have a new appreciation for brown blush. That is in between subtle and what I normally wear it as. I don't think I got subtle out of that one. I'm sorry, you probably could. I just forgot. Let's see if we can, oh, I had a big fluffy brush. I did. Let's see if we can there. It's more subtle now. Okay, so now let's go a little more pigment. Still pretty, still nice, even on the eye that is angry. Okay, so now we're really gonna beef this thing up. Pretty. Maybe I just think it's pretty because I like this blush. Okay, no, it's too much. Okay, too much. Too much on both, but they match. So do you need to buy both of these? No, because I feel like they're the same color, but they are different price ranges and different places you can buy them. So it's good to have options. Cool. And to know that the Risky Raisin isn't really as raisiny. It's more, in my opinion, brown. Clean cheeks again. All right. We have from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This was on sale a lot. Like, Give Me Glow was doing they're revamping their brand. And so this was probably less than $5. This is called Half Baked. A lot of these have interesting connotations with their names. Oh, okay, cool. And then I have the Kaleidos one, which it has a name. I don't know the name. It's the brown one. In their first original collection. Anywho, so I'm afraid that I might not like these ones because I wonder, okay, I'm going to compare them to the ColourPop one. The ColourPop one does seem a little bit bleh. Maybe that's just because I know I don't like it. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. And if I don't like it, I'll still use it as a bronzer because that's what I was using it as. At least I know. See, that's this whole experiment. It is helping me to, did I buy too many things to know? Yes, but I have a big study group. Anywho, so let's try Half Baked. And remember, Bianca, it is hard to go subtle because and I just put on foundation, so my foundation's a little moist, and so that's why it wants to just you know, stick to that one spot, but it's hard to go subtle. Okay. So far, I like it better than the ColourPop and the Burt's Bees. So far. The Burt's Bees I liked more than the ColourPop, but I still didn't really like either of them. Okay. I like it better. And that's the subtle one, although it was hard to do it subtle. Okay, more. Just because my foundation is wet-ish. Good. Guys, I'm happy. I'm happy that this looks better, that there's only two that I'm like, I'm going to be giving these two away, the ColourPop and the Burt's Bees one, because I hated them so much. Looks great. Okay, great. Let's really go for it. This is pigmented because that is already probably too much. Like I felt like the first subtle one was how I would normally wear it. So this is a very pigmented powder blush, which I feel like it's easier to be pigmented for cream blushes. Wow, that looks terrible. It looks like I got punched. That's okay because I'm not, usually the third round does not look good. Okay, but I liked the first. The second was still a little much, but I liked the first and the second was okay. All right, we're learning things. I'm like, when I use this, I'm like trying to use it so that it doesn't flick up into my eye again. That was one of the worst experiences. It was seriously, gosh, it would hurt so bad. Okay, so cool. Yes, the Kaleidos. Cool. We're gonna, okay. Settle, Bianca, settle. That is subtle. Okay. This one doesn't have a lot of pigment. All right. So there's our subtle side. Let's do a little bit more. It's creeping into the ColourPop and the Burt's Bees one where it's not doing a lot. And I feel like if it's not doing a lot, what's the point? Okay, so I'm trying to build it up at this point. See if I can get it to do anything. Okay, I can. It looks better than the Burt's Bees and the ColourPop, but it didn't look as good as this one did on the first or the second application, whereas this one, it's funny because I've had this one for a while and I wasn't using it as a blush. I was using it as a bronzer, which is funny because it's not even that great of a bronzer color either. The cheeks are hurting. Yay. Okay, so the last two powders we have from FENTY, another FENTY, but this is a powder. This is in the FENTY Cheeks, the Suede powder blush in Bakin Cakez. Come on, open. Boom. And then we have from Moira, this one is the Signature Ombre Blusher in Tender Rose. This was another one I contemplated not putting in here because it's called Rose. But that seems, oh, I just stuck my finger in it. Anywho, whatever, it's fine. It seems brown to me, so. Okay, we've got two kind of browns. Okay, so this one I'm gonna put the FENTY that got on my finger, that I stuck my finger in it, okay? We're just putting, I'm trying not to waste. Subtle. Subtle, Bianca, subtle. This one has a little bit of like a rose tone, so I keep comparing to this ColourPop one, and the ColourPop has a little bit more warmth to it, and this has a little more rose to it, so I think that, I hope that I like it more. There's our subtle, very subtle. Like, I guess you compare it to this side, and it is on there. It's just subtle. Okay. Maybe the next time I should show you how red my cheeks are. Why? Because I think it's funny. So I'll show you guys the next time how red they are. Cool. That is how I would wear it, like that. And I think that looks really nice. Like, it's a little bit rosy, but also not rose. It's like a brown, a neutrally rosy brown. But that's brown, right? That's not rose. It's a rosy brown. That was the point of this, was to get different shades of brown, like a rosy brown, a warm orangey brown, a like a red brown, different shades of brown, and how they look on my face and which ones I like the best. Okay. Oh, no, not that side. Gosh, Bianca. Okay, we're gonna really turn this up. Turn it up to a 10. It actually doesn't really want to build to a 10. It's not a dark blush. It's, you know, it's not wanting to go darker than that color, obviously. So that's about as dark as it'll go. And it's okay. It's okay. It's funny how both of the Fentys are the ones that I feel like look okay with the third shade. The third tier. You know, obviously they all looked better without that third tier. Let's go with the Moira. Let's just go like that. Yeah? Okay, there we go. That is crud. More pigmented than I thought it would be because, you know, this side, maybe we can unpigment it. Get a little bit of this over here. Whoops. Okay, I tried. I'm not good at subtle blush, let's just say, okay? Subtle side. Looks good. That looks great. I think that people who are not blush blind, this is how they wear the blush. Okay, let's go again. Nice. Blush blind. I don't care. I like it. I know I'm blush blind and I like it. Oh no, I just like the color. I think it's pretty. I like brown blush. Some brown blush. Let's go one more time. And you know what? I'm not even going to swirl it. I'm just going to go on this end. And we're going to really pile it on. Because, you know, you have that option of really just going one end or the other. Huh. I actually kind of like it. I like that you have the option. It's like two colors of blushes. I mean, I wouldn't wear that as a blush. That's not a blush, but you can swirl it around and get a color, and then you can really concentrate up here and get a different color. And so you can like get an ombre. I kind of like that. It's too dark. I have too much blush on, but I like the ombre effect without pulling out two different blushes. Ooh, I like that. Right now, I only have 3 blushes that I don't like. Okay, I said I was going to show you my cheeks. I guess they feel redder than they look. They're not as red as I thought they would be, but they're pretty red. So, redness gone. Let's put on some more blush. 3 blushes. And I can't see all of them. Like this e.l.f. one, I can see in the container. And this is like a terracotta brown. When I ordered it online, it looked more brown than right now. Now it looks definitely an orange brown, a terracotta brown. Didn't I have one that kind of was orangey? I did. The ColourPop one was orangey brown, but this is a light orange brown. This is a dark orange brown, and this has more orange. Like this has like a yellowy orange. Yes, this was yellow. I remember this one made me look yellow because I said it made me look sallow. Okay, this one is more orange. So we have yellow brown, we have red brown, we have pink brown, and we have orange brown. You know, there can be like a green brown. Anywho, I feel like this one kind of matches. This is Flower Beauty, but that's just the outside packaging. I don't know if the inside. And then we have NYX. So we're gonna go with these because these might match. I don't know. e.l.f. Okay, this is supposed to be a dupe of the Rare Beauty one, so it's supposed to be really pigmented. So subtle, right? Impossible. Impossible to get subtle with this amount of pigmentation. But I did try. You saw the tiny amount that I put on. I guess I could have put it on my hand and then put it, that's too much work. So that's as subtle as I can make it. And I kind of assumed the orange brown would work because the orange looked okay on me. It's the yellow browns I'm finding out. They don't. Okay, let's do a little dot more. Now, this is probably the amount that I would regularly wear as a person who loves blush. Also, how perfect will this blush be in the fall time? Yeah, I mean, you can wear it anytime. I think summertime, a really orange blush is fun too, but fall, yeah, even better. Pretty, pretty. Does it even look brown? Yeah, it looks brown, orangey brown. Okay, let's go one more so we can really dial this up and see the brown, because I feel like I dialed it up too hard. I went too hard. Oh my God, I look like a football player. Bianca, will this ever blend in? Probably not. Well, FYI, this is a pigmented blush. Now it's looking orange. The more you go with it, oh my gosh. Too high up, too over here. I'm not trying to make it work, but I don't want to look crazy. Okay. It is very orange. Okay, so online it did look more brown, but I would say this is definitely a terracotta brown. It definitely leans very orangey brown. Okay, great. Now, let's go with this Flower Beauty. This is in, did I tell you what color that was? That was in Bronze Bombshell. See, it's even called bronze. Okay, cool. This Flower Beauty one is in cinnamon. Uh-oh. The Burt's Bee one was cinnamon and I didn't like it. Let's hope this one I like more, okay? All right, so I'm trying to go subtle. This one is not as pigmented, which is probably a good thing. All right, there's our subtle. I think that one looks pretty, it does look kind of like yellowy brown, yellowy orangey brown, but it doesn't look bad. It looks glowing, in my opinion. Okay, let's go a little bit more. Because you can, I mean, you can't tell me that's not brown. I guess you could tell me, but I'm not going to believe it. Okay. Wow, this one is less pigmented. I think that Flower Beauty is usually kind of not a very pigmented brand. That I would need more to make it to my, because the second application is supposed to be my level. Okay, it's more yellow. It does have that yellow tone to it, and I don't like the yellow tone. I prefer the orange, red, and pink than the yellow. Okay, all right, now we're gonna amp this up to a 10. Boom. Makes it look like I fell in mud. Okay, I will get this to blend in. I have dry skin, so it will eat this up if I let it. I don't like this one. I don't like the yellow browns. Did I know this was yellow brown before I got it? I did not know that. I was not aware of that fact. There's just some of them that look terrible with my finger application. All of them would look much better with a blush or a brush or the back of my beauty blender. Okay, not a big fan. Better fan, too much. Not a big fan. Let's get this off, and I have my last one, which is the NYX. All right, last but not least, we have from NYX in the Sweet Cheeks formula. This is Nude Tude, and this one is more of that pink brown. But I would still say it is brown, but pink brown. I'm gonna use the back of my beauty blender because I have no more that I'm putting on, and so I can. So there is our more subtle look. Pretty, I like it. I like the pink brown. I think it works well, especially because I'm cool toned, and I really don't like the yellow brown. So the pink works a little much better. Okay, let's go more because I can. I'm trying to put them in the same spot, but I am not doing a good job of that. Okay. nice. It's definitely leaning more pink. Like I feel like it's lifting up my concealer and just showing my cheeks underneath because they're all pink, but that's not what's happening. I think it just is very much looking like my kind of rosy cheeks. That is such a natural looking blush. That looks like I'm just got a little bit of sun, like I'm blushing. That's a very, very natural blush, even with the 2 layers. But you know, I have to go more than that because that is the whole point of the video. Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't think it'll build any more than this because, you know, this is as dark as this blush will go. It's not a dark blush. It actually even doesn't that dark. It's not even looking that bad. It looked much better at the second application, but pretty. All right, let's talk about some of these blushes, okay? Do I even have to say which my least favorites were? You guys know. This one, and this one, and this one. They were too yellow toned. These are going to go in a declutter bin for me to get rid of because I don't like them. I could wear them as a bronzer, but I have bronzers that are bronzers and not blushes that work. So, and I feel like I have friends that would be like, have never used a brown blush and would think it's as intriguing as I thought it was. Okay, now for my favorites, I think that this Magic Brownie one, I thought it was really, really cool. Like I liked the pigmentation on it. I liked that it was buildable. I liked that it was a little bit red toned. I liked this one, the Singe Beauty one, because it was a good one to top on top of it. I also liked this FENTY one. This was in Rose Latte. It was a little bit more of the orangey brown, which I felt like made my skin just kind of glow. Whereas this one too, these were both kind of orangey. I guess, yeah, look at that. You can tell, like straight on like that, it looks more brown, but they both have that orangey tone to it. And so they just kind of made my skin glow. So I think my favorite out of all of them is the orange brown and the red brown. The pink brown is really nice, but it's more, it's very natural looking. And I like to have, if I'm wearing blush, I want it to look like I'm wearing blush. So I think my third favorite is the rosy toned. Have you ever tried brown blush? Or have you just used it like as a bronzer? Like I never have really gotten into brown blush before, but I think it looks, with the pink brown, looks really very natural. The red brown also looks, it kind of gives you a little bit of a sunburny color, and which is very fun. I don't know, the orange brown kind of also is sunburn, but I think that it's very also kind of natural because the sunburn is natural when you're out in the sun, but I thought they were all very beautiful. So I'm excited. I'm glad that I got to try this because I just kind of never thought about a brown blush because I was like, that's a bronzer. So I'm glad I got to try this. Are you going to try out brown blush now? Let me know. And if you got to the end of this video, put a brown heart in the comment. So let me know that you finished this video, and then I can thank you personally for watching to the end of this video. Thank you so much. All right, well, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I really had fun with it. I think it was a really good experiment for me. If you like this video, like this video. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to my channel. If you want to be notified of my videos, click that bell. And most importantly, be nice to yourself. Have a great day. Bye.